Hi, I'm Mike. And we all know how important calves are to the ranch. But what do you do when you have a mom who can't or won't take care of her calf? Today we take a look at bottle calves and these high maintenance members of the herd on Our Wyoming Life. Hi there, and thanks for coming along with me today on Our Wyoming Life, giving you a chance to explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Whether you're a rancher or farmer yourself, or just interested in agriculture as a whole, I do thank you for coming here and taking a look and seeing how ranchers out here in Wyoming, or at least how I deal with our animals, which we actually consider our friends. Today we're going to be taking a look at these bottle calves. This is Peanut right here, the brown one. Peanut, her mom, or his mom actually, was our mastitis cow from last year. We decided to keep her around and give her another shot this year. We actually gave her a bunch of antibiotics before she went into labor, just trying to get that mastitis under control. It didn't work, and we ended up having to take her calf from her once again. If she stays on the ranch, she won't be allowed to keep a calf from here on out, and we will have to have her calf brought into us every single year, and that calf will become a bottle calf. Behind me here, this is Goliath. Goliath is shy, and he was our breech calf from just, a week or so ago, 10 days ago, something like that. And his mom ended up not taking him back. He also had some problems with standing up due to being cramped in the uterus. So it took a while for his tendons to kind of loosen up so that he could actually get up and walk. Obviously now you can tell that he doesn't have a whole lot of problem on the walking front. So we are going to, today, we're going to talk about how we deal with these guys, how we care for them, and also what you do, some of the things you can do with problem calves that you may have. But first, as you can see, these guys are a little bit hungry. So we're going to head back into the shop and we're going to get them a quick bite to eat. So let's go do that first. As we head out to the shop, these guys will actually come with me as we make bottles. There's basically, when you think about it, there's a few things that a cow definitely requires. And cows are herd animals. So the first thing they want is accompaniment. They want somebody to be with them. Luckily, we had both of these guys became bottle calves on the very same day. Hey, geese, I'm trying, hey, 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 hey. There's recording in progress here. Anyway, these guys actually became bottle calves on the very same day, which actually worked out really well, so that we didn't have a lone bottle calf, which is always kind of a recipe for disaster. As you can tell, these guys kind of know the routine. Okay, so the first thing is that a calf needs to have a partner in crime, basically. Don't stand on my foot. If a calf, once a calf has a partner in crime, then the main thing that you really need to worry about with them is obviously water. Whoa, you slipped and fell. It's a little slippery right there, isn't it? Water, food, and of course, any type of medical requirements that they may have. So first thing we're going to do is get these guys what we call, well, it's milk replacer. It's used as a replacement for mom's milk, and we're going to mix those up for these guys. And then one of the other things that they need that I kind of forgot about was space. They need space to move. You can't have a bottle calf, any type of calf, that's just pent up. Like, I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's going to work for you. So what we do is every day, these guys, since we don't have a dog anymore to chase them around, every day these guys actually come into our yard. They're our surrogate puppies, and they'll come into our yard. They'll hang out in the yard. We can go out and feed them out there. The kids can go out and play with them, get them up and moving, because exercise and movement is just as important as anything else. So first of all, we're going to make these guys their bottles, and then we are going to take them over to the yard and get them fed. So calves, just by nature, I think the nature of them not being with their moms and stuff like that, they're susceptible to more problems than I think, or like, hey, that's the camera. Don't go under the camera. All right, so bottle calves, I think just by nature, are a little bit more susceptible to problems as they grow up. We end up having more problems with bottle calves, issues with malnourishment, with scours, which is basically just diarrhea, and overall just kind of like, I think, loneliness more than anything. So what we always try to do is make sure that we work with our bottle calves as much as possible. We're trying to make sure that they get enough to eat. I'm going to tell you how to make sure they're getting enough to eat. And basically just try to make them as happy as possible. If they need medications, we get it to them. So we're going to take a look at a few of those things. First, I'm going to get these bottles going. I have some lukewarm water here, which is always a good place to start. I like using a blender just because it goes a lot faster. Hey, excuse me. We're going to grab some milk replacer, which is basically just powdered milk. That's all it is powdered milk. We're going to grab some of that. We're going to put it in the blender and watch these guys jump when I turn it on. Or maybe not today. Each calf will get 2 of these bottles at least twice per day, and then usually I'll give them like 1 bottle at lunch. Quit standing on my foot. Your little feet hurt, man. You got hooves. All right, so I'll usually give them 2 bottles for breakfast. 1 bottle for lunch, and then 2 bottles before bedtime. When they're younger, we do, for that first couple of days, we'll end up giving them a nighttime feeding as well, but a lot of times they don't eat well during it. So I like to, and this may sound a little bad, but I like to make sure that they're hungry. So when it's time for breakfast or it's time for lunch or whatever, I want to make sure that they're hungry, because they're going to eat a lot better that way, and they don't waste as much of your time. All right, so we're almost done mixing up the bottles here, and then we're going to annoy them a little bit more because before we take them over to the yard, I want to show you a few things. Okay, so these are their bottles. They are, what, 2 pints each, I think, or 4 pints a piece, and they'll get 2 of these. We'll come back and we'll make a couple more. Maybe we'll be able to get the kids out after school to help us out. So they know what this is, obviously. They've learned over their last couple weeks of going through this whole thing what we have going on. They're going to be really annoyed with me here because we're going to talk about a couple really quick things. And the first thing, and I hope that you don't, whoops. They say that filming with kids or animals is always the hardest thing to do. So, a couple things really quick when you have bottle calves that we have to worry about is underfeeding them, which is really easy to do because they don't want to eat sometimes. So I get questions occasionally where people ask me about having a calf that's got a bloated belly. That's usually a sign of actually malnourishment. So if you've got a calf that's got an expanded belly, looks like they're really gassy, they just need to eat more. And sometimes you can't get them to eat. They won't eat because whether they don't feel good or whatever. So sometimes you do have to force them to eat. And you've seen me use one of these before, but this is this is what they call an esophageal feeder. And what this does, you fill this portion up with the milk replacer or whatever you happen to be giving them, whether it's electrolytes or even some colostrum you can put right into here. This is the portion that's going to go into the calf's stomach. Now, this thing is actually made to be the right length for a calf, and one of the easiest ways to tell if I can get one of these calves to hold still for us is I can show you exactly how far this thing goes in. Come here, Goliath. Let's be a model for this, because you're going to be able to put this into their mouth, and you want it to be extend just past the back. Let's see if we can turn you around. The back right here of his shoulder. So when this goes into his mouth, it's going to go just past there. So for him, this thing needs to go all the way in, and you need to, otherwise you're not getting it in far enough, and you could actually be pushing liquid into his lungs. So this ball here that's on this esophageal feeder, it actually makes sure that you do not go down into the trachea. You're going into the esophagus so that the milk goes into the stomach rather than into the lungs. But if you don't get it in far enough, it can back out and go back into the lungs. So this thing, you want to make sure that you get it in all the way. And the big trick here, and I'm not going to do this because obviously he doesn't need this, but I want to be able to show you guys because I get a lot of questions about this. And how to do this is I will get on the back of the calf like this. You're going to guide this tube down the left-hand side of the throat, and it'll slide right in there just perfectly. Just make them swallow it. Then you just hold it up, blub, 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 and it goes right into their tummy. So that is the esophageal feeder. If you've got a calf that won't eat, that's the way that you do it. That's the way that you make it happen. So obviously these guys, we don't really have that problem, but we did in the beginning. Goliath here, actually, I think he had probably 4 or 5 feedings with the esophageal feeder. So that's why he's pretty comfortable with it, and he knows it's not there to hurt him. All right, the other things that we have to deal with that, once you obviously, you got to make them eat, but you also have to deal with why they're not eating. And a lot of that times that could be an upset stomach, a number of different things. And you can use, whether they're Scour's tablets. Sometimes you're going to see a calf that has diarrhea. You can use Scour's tablets. Now these are actually an antibiotic. You can use these if they're not working. You can go to what we call LA200, which is liquamycin, and whereas the Scour's tablets are actually, I think they're terramycin. Yeah, these are terramycin. This is liquamycin, just different antibiotics. You can pump them up with the recommended dosage and hopefully be able to take care of whatever's giving them Scour's. Another option that we have this year, I know you guys are getting hungry. Okay, another option that we have this year, and this was actually brought to my attention. It's called Results, and it's a calf neo paste. It's a feed supplement for calves, and it doesn't have any antibiotics in it. It's actually made out of egg protein, and this will actually help with Scour's as well. Now you do have to give it within about 12 hours of birth, and this will actually help them boost their immune system, and hopefully you don't have any issues with Scour's to start with. So those are the big issues that you're going to have with your calves. Food, water is pretty simple. Leave water out for them. They will come and drink water. You may not think that they would, but they will. Making sure that they have enough food to eat every single day, that you're giving them enough bottles, obviously, and then being able to take care of their health as well. And that's not only physical health, that's mental health. But make sure that you're able to talk to your vet, and if you do have a bottle calf, that any questions, don't take my word for it. Call your vet and make sure that you build that relationship there so that you can call them, and even with the silliest of questions, because I call my vet all the time, and I'm sure they hate hearing from me. But I don't want to give anybody the wrong information either. Mental health, I think that's one of the biggest things that people do forget about with cows. Cows in general. Cows are curious animals. They are herd animals, so they want to be around other cows. And they are, are you going to make it? You going to make it over there? Are you stuck? They're like a bull in a china shop, really. All right, so yeah, these calves, obviously, we want them to be as healthy as possible, whether it's mental health or physical health or anything else. So we are going to take them to our yard right now, where they will get their breakfast. And yeah, you want to come have breakfast? And then we will we'll have some fun. It's very important that they do get a chance to have some fun, be calves, and be cows, really. If you've ever been around cows, you know how curious they are. And I think that calves are just as curious, if not more, than their moms are. So we're gonna grab this, we're gonna grab our camera, we're gonna say, come on calves, let's go. Come on, get in here. There we go. Alrighty. Come on, guys. Ooh. Alrighty, time to go make another bottle, and this time we'll get the kids out here and put them to work a little bit. Nope, you stay. You guys stay. You guys stay. Well, I'll be right back. I'll be right back, okay? Okay. All right. While I make up a second bottle here for each one of those guys, a couple other things. After about 6 to 8 weeks, we can actually start weaning the calves off already. Moms in the field won't be doing it that early, but we can get started on it. We won't wean them off, obviously in one day, but we will start cutting back the amount of bottles, and we'll start giving them supplementary food, including like calf starter or some sort of like calf manna or something like that. That's a very small granule type of feed that they can start to digest. Calves themselves will put on anywhere from about 2 to 2.5 pounds per day is what the usual consensus is. I'm not sure if bottle calves aren't going to put on that much. They're going to actually be a little bit smaller than their brothers and sisters and whatnot out there in the field. But obviously, without us intervening in their lives, there's a hair on there, they wouldn't be here at all. So even if they are just a little bit lighter when it comes to time to sell them, that's just something we're going to have to deal with, obviously, when we get there. You can, if you find farmers and ranchers, you can usually buy bottle calves. I can tell you this much. Need a little bit more water. I can tell you this much, that raising a bottle calf with the milk replacer, medications, time, and effort that you have to put into them, it's not worth it. It's one of those things that you either have to like to do or love to do, or you're better off just to skip it. You can find people that will sell you a bottle calf. And it's because a lot of times ranchers and farmers, they don't have the time to deal with it. They don't have the time to, make sure that this calf has everything it needs, especially when it doesn't have a mom around. So you're going to find a lot of day-old calves sometimes at cattle auctions this time of year around here. Those can go for maybe a couple $100, maybe $100, just kind of depends on the calf. The younger it is, usually the less it's going to go for, because you don't know if that calf got colostrum or how well it's doing physically or anything else. So you're going to run into situations where you can buy calves. My suggestion would be, if you're buying a bottle calf, buy a week-old calf at least, week, 10 days, something like that, so you know that it's at least made it that long, that hopefully it's healthy enough to continue on for you, whatever you're going to do with it, whether you're going to make it a part of your herd, you're going to raise a steer for meat, whatever you're going to do. Bottle calves are a great way to do it. And if you're into 4-H or FFA or anything like that, you guys already know the routine, but you will have those calves as part of your life for quite a while. I don't know if somebody smeared the screen there or not. Alrighty, so anyway, I'm going to take these 2 bottles back over. We're going to feed the calves. I'm going to grab the kids, see if we can get them out. We'll leave you with that. But I do ask that you do subscribe, that you hit the bell notification so that you do get notified when we have new videos come out. We are continuing with our vlog type videos, but trying to mix them up a little bit, give you guys a little bit more education mixed in with the vlog, and be able to, of course, bring new people into the fold and introduce new people to exploring the ranch life, escaping the ordinary, and what it's like to be a part of our Wyoming life. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you on Sunday, by the way, on the Beyond the Ranch channel for our weekly live stream, and then we'll be back again on Tuesday. So head on over to the website, ourwyominglife.com, and check it out and be a part of the herd. Appreciate it. Oh, almost forgot the bottles. Mackenzie, Grace.
Did you leave them here?
Children giggling, half awake, spilling milk and frosted flakes on the floor. Every day's the same routine, washing faces, brushing teeth, then out the door. The noise of young'uns running around, how I've come to love that sound. It's just an ordinary day, another link in my life's chain. Each morning turns a page for 24 more of the same. It's just an ordinary day, I'm overworked and underpaid. But if you ask me what I'd change, I'd say how fast they get away. I'm thankful for each ordinary day. Saturdays they play non-stop with the neighbor kids on our block till after dark. Sundays we go for a drive, half the time we're trying to pry the kids apart. The noisy young'uns fussing loud, the day'll come I miss that sound. It's just an ordinary day, another link in my life's chain. Each morning turns a page for 24 more of the same. It's just an ordinary day, I'm overworked and underpaid. But if you'd ask me what I'd change, I'd say how fast they get away. I'm thankful for each ordinary day. Birthdays, PTA, ball games are wearing us out. Someday we'll appreciate them even more than now. It's just an ordinary day, another link in my life's chain. Each morning turns a page for 24 more of the same. It's just an ordinary day, I'm overworked and underpaid. But if you'd ask me what I'd change, I'd say how fast they get away. I'm thankful for each ordinary day. So thankful for each ordinary day. Children giggling, half awake, spilling milk and frosted flakes